This video is part 2 of our great adventure where 11 of us gem cutters went to Kenya and Tanzania to visit gemstone mines, meet with the miners, buy gem rough, see some of the great work by the charity called Gem Legacy, see the animals of East Africa, and bond as a group. Volume 1 took us from the plane trip from our homes in the US and UK to Nairobi, the train ride from Nairobi down to Voi, visit to the Kenyan Ministry of Mining, the Gem Center in Voi, a safari through Tsavo East National Park, visit to the Sheldrick Animal Rehabilitation Center and Rescue Site, and our 2-day gem rough buying event where 11 of us met as many gem rough dealers and miners from Kenya that we could and bought uncut gemstones directly from them. So this volume, Volume 2, will continue on with our journey, and yes, there's still a long ways to go, so let's get started. And first, let's reintroduce the organizers and hosts of our trip, Roger and Ginger Deary. They did all the hard work so the rest of us could enjoy the awesome trip. Thanks, Roger. Thanks, Ginger. And now I'll reintroduce our team of 11, which was made up of 8 gem cutters and 3 spouses, a super group of friends.
Jumbo!
Banana!
Rafiki!
Rafiki! Cuba Cuba! Ah! Welcome to Africa! Where am I?
There are many great places to stay in Voi, and I really enjoyed the Voi Wildlife Lodge. But for one evening, we ate dinner and took in an awesome sunset at a nearby lodge called the Lion Hill Lodge, which sits on top of a large hill, and that provides a spectacular view of Tsavo East National Park as well as a beautiful sunset. Let me take a minute here to explain about the pictures and movie clips in this video. Our team consisted again of 11 gem cutters and spouses, and all of us took photos and video all along the way on our adventure. So we decided to share photos and let others on the team use our photos. So Cal, who is very computer savvy as well as being an excellent photographer and videographer, Cal set up a shared site for everyone to upload whatever photos and clips they were willing to share with everyone else. There was a lot of material for me to sift through, and the bottom line is that most of the photos and clips in these videos were taken by one of the other 10 people on our team, not me. Very few photographs are mine, as I turned out to be the worst photographer in the group. So if you know the other members of this group, thank them for contributing their photos and videos to make this video possible. Now, if there's anything as cool as the sunset in Kenya, it would be a sunrise in Tsavo East National Park in Kenya. And we all had such a great time going through the park and looking at the animals the first time that Ginger set up a second wildlife drive for very early in the morning for those of us who were willing and able to get up before the sun. The highlight of this morning trek was definitely seeing the sun come up through the acacia trees. An awesome sunrise. Now, I may have goofed on one or more of these photos. Some may have been from the previous wildlife drive and not this morning drive. But again, I had so much material to sort through and work with from the videos and photos of all 11 of us who were snapping away There may be an occasional out-of-place photo, and if so, I apologize in advance. Again, watching the sunrise on that wildlife drive was definitely one of the trip highlights. In part one of this video, I introduced you to the Voi Wildlife Lodge. Well, we spent a total of 3 nights in that lodge, which is just outside Tsavo East National Park, and I mean just outside. As you can see, the electrified fence that borders the national park. Think Jurassic Park electrified fence. Then scale it down, as the fence here is only about 4 feet tall, and heck, the monkeys have no problem jumping over the fence. Anyway, you can see that fence in a lot of the photos from the lodge, so it's right there. And the other cool thing about the lodge is that one of the Tsavo Park watering holes is just a few feet away on the other side of that electrified fence. So all day and night long, you can watch various animals come in to visit the water hole and get water. So that gives you a really great view. Pretty amazing. The Voi Wildlife Lodge is a great place to stay while visiting Kenya and the Voi area, and heck, you don't even need to go on safari. The animals come to you because of that watering hole. All you have to do is sit in the bar area, enjoying your favorite drink, and the animals come to the watering holes, and you can just watch and get a chance to see all the animals of the park. It is always a big hit when a herd of elephants visit the watering hole, especially if there's a really young baby elephant in the group, because the babies always seem to steal the show.
Well, they came over just for a quick photo and then left.
Came over to check us out.
Yep.
Okay. Sit. It's not that one. There's another one down here that's smaller.
It's not the one on the other side of these two?
Oh yeah, he's over here. Yeah. Hello.
Oh my gosh, they're both so tiny.
Yes, I see you. Yes, I see you. Yes.
Claire would be funny.
Now let me introduce you to the boss of the watering hole. This is Henry the hippo. They say that a few years ago, Henry just kind of showed up at the watering hole one day, and he's remained there ever since. During the day, you can often just see Henry's snout above the water in the largest of the two pools. Then a couple times a day, Henry will walk out of the water to the smaller water pool, take a drink, let out a roar, and then return to his larger water pool. It's only fitting that my last photos of the Voi Wildlife Lodge are of Henry. We spent parts of 2 days visiting the gemstone mines in Kenya alone. I lost count of how many mines we saw and even how many I went into. Before we went to the mines, we picked up some food packs to give to the miners as gifts from Gem Legacy. I'm not sure the weight, but I guess each gift pack consisted of something like about 20 kilograms of rice, 20 kilogram sack of maize, a couple of bags of salt, a box of cooking fat. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but it's a non-liquid cooking oil. It's much more commonly used in this region than the liquid cooking oils that we use. All the gifts were from Gem Legacy again to help out the mining community, and were purchased locally to again further help out the community. Most of the mines in Kenya, as you see, are very basic. What tends to happen is that some shiny stones are found on the surface somewhere on a farm, a basic farm, and so the farmer, all he has is basic tools, he or she, and so they start digging where the stones are found, and if they're lucky, they find a vein of some minerals which indicate the potential presence for the gemstones they're looking at, like a quartz vein, mica, pyrite, and it's all in graphite. So they find the vein and they just keep digging, and when the vein turns left, they turn left. When the vein turns right, the mine turns right. So if they're lucky along the way, every once in a while, they'll hit a pocket, and the pocket is kind of filled with gemstones. And then they'll, after they pull all those stones out, they'll dig along further in the vein until hopefully they find and hit another pocket. So the mines twist and turn as they follow the veins of the minerals which indicate the presence of the gem rough they're looking for. And in this area in Kenya, it's normally the green savarite garnet that they're looking for. But there's many other types of garnets, many other gemstones that they find along the way, but kind of the money stone is the green savarite. So getting to these mines is very difficult. They're almost always, on dirt roads. Seldom use dirt roads because the road only goes to the mine. They're on private farmland, and permission is needed from the owners to visit these mines. And the government does not allow any longer a rough to legally be purchased directly at the mines. And they do that in an attempt to stop the smuggling of gem material out of the country. And in the next clip, you'll see we pass through a fence onto private land as we head for one of the many mines we were visiting. During our great adventure and visit to one of the mines, one of our party celebrated her birthday. Happy birthday, Kim. In addition to a gift of some basic food supplies, Roger and Ginger, through Gem Legacy, provided a packet of tools locally purchased, again, to help the miners be more productive. The tool gift packs included shovels, sledgehammers, pickaxes, chisels, headlamps, and sifting trays. Again, I lost count of how many mines that we dropped off tool packs for as we visited the mines, all from Gem Legacy. Most of the mine sites are far from any village, and life is very austere at the sites. Now, I thought the miners would worry most about lions as they spend time at these mine sites, but they told me the biggest threat is from elephants. And recently, the huts at this mine site were destroyed by an elephant. And everything, even the large plastic drums of water, were destroyed by the elephant, who was smart enough to know that there's water in those plastic drums, so he just squeezed them till they broke and drank all the water. And then, to make matters worse for this mine owner, after the site was destroyed, some people came along, scavengers, and stole all the corrugated metal that's used for roofing of the hut. So it pretty devastating, but it wasn't the lions.
interested in it. Yeah, so when I wanted to know more about the mining. So I came inside. I discovered about the green garnet, tourmaline. I was interested in I came to mining.
And you are surrounded by men, yeah?
You know, I live with men. You just have to know how to handle that.
Oh, wow. So Esther, what kind of green garnet?
How do you go inside? With a rope?
No. We just the boys just go by themselves, not by rope.
Wow. Getting back out looks tricky.
Wait, Roger, you first?
Apparently. Tell us when you're going.
AVQ. From yes.
So you hand it to the guy next to you?
Yeah, like that.
How far can you go in a day? Like 1 meter in a day?
1 meter.
And it's all by hand digging?
Yeah, it's all by hand.
Wow.
No blast?
Yeah, but we do it by ourselves. No machine. Yeah.
That's why he's so muscular.
Yes. Good exercise. Good exercise every day.
Whether they like it or not, yeah?
So everywhere you put this in more, it's just getting stuff in different areas. Now you and the other one is
I don't want to land there.
Is that feldspar?
We call it feldspar, yeah. Now the Savarite mine is graphite, but
Right.
for tourmaline it's feldspar. Just touch it, the stones from the yeah.
What a good feeling that must be.
Even if you're just alone, you start talking to yourself. You know, we normally do like this. You are just alone. It's a very good feeling. I once got it. It's very wonderful feeling.
Beautiful pocket.
You know, you don't have a dime in your pocket, and you see something that can give you $1 million. What a wonderful feeling.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
That's how mining works though, right? Like you never can give up because you're just
Yes.
like 1 day away.
Look.
Yeah. It's just indicator for Savarite.
Indicators for Savarite.
yeah.
Yes, no, ma'am.
So this is what is going to change and become somewhere.
tunaiita masabuni. Tunaiita masabuni hii.
Yeah.
Very clean view of Mount Everest, which is about 50,000.
We saw many different types of mines, shapes, sizes, everything, and this is kind of unique. This is a co-op mine or a cooperative mine. So everybody's a member of the co-op that started the mine, and so they all kind of pick a place to dig, and when one member of the co-op hits a pocket, the rest of the co-op comes over, pitches in to help clean out the pocket, and they share in the profits. So, and also if you look closely around the outskirts of the mining area, you'll see that there's kind of built up a row of dried thorn branches all around, kind of like a wall all around the perimeter. And they told me that that kind of a fence of dried branches, it isn't to keep the lions out. Again, it's to keep the elephants, and it doesn't keep the elephants out. But what they told me is that late at night when you're sleeping, if the elephants come through, you hear them break through those branches just like an alarm going off. So I'm not sure what you do when you hear the branches cracking late at night. By guess, I guess I would run to the nearest mine and stay in there until the elephants left. Most of the mines were in isolated areas, kind of in the middle of nowhere, but this mine probably took the cake of all the mines we visited. And the crying that you hear in the clip, that's one of the farmer's goats who kind of got stuck on the rocks and kept crying until they came and let her loose. Again, the government of Kenya no longer allows the purchase of gem rough at the mine sites. I don't think this miner got the word yet, and he was very happy to show us what he's recently dug up, but we did not make any purchases at the mine sites.
This is green garnet, this is yellow golden, and this one is double color, and this
Double barrel.
it is called double color because of two colors.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Now this is the mine in Kenya, which we were all looking the most forward to seeing. The lady who owns and operates the mine is a good friend of Roger and Ginger, and this mine has been very productive and actually even has a little bit of advanced mining processes. Even it's gone down so deep now that they've incorporated an air pump to the bottom of the mine so that air could be pumped down to the mine. This mine produces savarite, and many of our group did purchase large, clean, beautiful pieces of savarite from this mine owner back at the wildlife lodge where we bought the rough, not at the mine site. But seemed like everybody wanted to own a piece of savarite from this site as a good remembrance of this trip. The mine site is not very far from the owner's home in this case, and the roads are not too bad, which is very much unlike many of the other mine sites which we visited, which were again out in the middle of nowhere. It was pretty exciting going into the mine, but as I quickly found out, it's not easy as there are no evenly spaced steps. You got to climb over rocks, gets a little bit slippery sometimes, but to make matters worse, climbing back out, much harder, and you're already tired. At least I was. For some reason, I had expected the temperature to drop the further into a mine you went, the deeper you got, but no, it gets actually hotter. And if you see big bags or sacks, empty sacks around the mine sites, those are used to fill up with dirt from the bottom of the mine, and then they're manually carried to the top of the mine, or those cables that you see us grabbing onto, those sacks are hooked to those cables and they're kind of pulled up to the top when those cables work. The full bags are then dumped out and they start the process again. They don't have the carts on rails like you see in some coal mining mines. They don't have that here. I'm pretty sure Cal and Sean were the most excited members of our group, of the group that reached the end and the bottom of the mine. And heck, they even found garnets. Cool. And if they could have talked the mine workers into it, I'm sure that Sean and Cal would have picked up shovels and spent the full work shift down at the bottom, the very bottom of the mine.
So what's the difference? Ooh, that's careful on that rocket slip. So which way are we going? Okay. Oh, gotcha. Oh, that's a cable, a power cable, not a grab cable, FYI. Wow. The video doesn't show, but all these rocks sparkle like crazy. Gold colored mica. This is cool. Reg, it's tricky through here and a little slippery with some of the bags.
That's what I need.
Yep, so just watch your footing. Oh, is this the end?
Yep.
Oh, so we came all the way down? Is this 240 meters?
Don't tell Ginger we'll get in trouble.
All right. Look at that.
There's garnet in the wall here.
Is there?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Thank you for showing us. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Look at the green. That's cool. See green there?
Reg, hold on, let me go. She can jump on.
Sorry, Reg, I saw shiny rocks and I abandoned you.
If I can just get down.
Quartz and pyrite.
I'll say it again, it's a lot harder climbing out of the mine than climbing down into the mine. Whew, I was worn out. Nope, I did not just down 2 monster sodas before coming out of that mine, and nope, I wasn't breaking the Olympic records. We speeded up that video for you, so you didn't have to watch just how slow I was at coming back up out of that mine. So many, or most, almost all of the gem mines that we saw in Kenya are just, they're just small operations discovered by local farmers and, you know, who found shiny rocks on the surface of the land and started digging with just the basic tools, shovel, picks, bags to haul the dirt away in, and just all done by hand. They just keep digging and following the vein of whatever vein they are following, and eventually they have a very deep mine. But it's all basic and not as safe and not the way the government would like mining to be in the future. The one exception is the Classic 1 mine. This is a bit different because it's been a very successful mine. It's kind of the role model for the partnership between the government and the miners, farmers. At the Classic 1 mine site, they have gone around and properly reclaimed and filled in all the old holes of the ground, which were previous mines or previous attempts at mines. So everything's been reclaimed properly. They try to use the proper safety equipment, wear the proper clothing, and conduct mining in a safe and efficient manner. And again, it's the kind of the vision of the future for gem mining in Kenya. At least this is what the government is hoping for. So it was an interesting mine to visit.
I'm gonna go down a little bit for a picture.
So the bags, you're gonna carry it up. You get the bag to here, and you have to take it off and put it here, right? The bag passes through, no problem?
Yeah, it passes through, no problem.
You coming down? Good boy?
Hey, Cal,
All right.
I'm waiting for a report as to how it compares to the other
The other one, okay. They said this is standing the whole way.
He's standing with the whole way, so it's a friendly mine.
Yeah, that's what they all
You have a
say.
light for someone here? You have to go, my friend? Yes, I have a light.
You wanna go down?
They just have lots of lights. You might as well use them, man.
So when was the last time you produced here? Okay.
Oh yeah, this mine is, looks like some drainage too. Just in case, I guess if it rains?
Yeah, that's a drainage.
It is, okay.
It rains up here. You can come
Oh, a reef.
Yeah. So the reef runs across like this from this side to this side. Where we went down was where we found the most production. Within the reef, you get a nodule around like this one, which it's a shape of the eye. Now within that is where you get a pocket of favorite gemstones. So the host rock is graphite. All this host rock is graphite, but other indicators are quartz, pyrites, fool's gold. It's also, you see shiny when you look, you're seeing shiny stuff, that's pyrites. Then calcium, because the savorite is made up with a lot of calcium. And quartz. Quartz is generally almost the same as garnet, but it has no color. Yeah. So here where we are going down is where it is most productive.
I see some quartz there.
So this one is going like no, this one. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, this one's impressive at how well it's mined out in the built. Yeah.
They say the pinch, the reef pinches and swells. Where it swells, you get a concentration. You see, we have come with it. This is thin, it has pinched. But when it comes here, this is all a swelling.
Oh.
Yeah, and when it swells like this, it pinches. When down here, you're seeing.
It swells again.
Yeah, so where there is a swelling, this is a high potential area to get savorite.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this area is still being worked?
This is where they are working. Even tomorrow morning they'll start here. So typically a day's work is to remove below the reef, they excavate 1 meter below the reef using the jackhammer. And if the stone is very hard, they will use controlled explosion. Yeah, so once they leave the reef hanging, they call in the supervision, we come down, then examine slowly, mostly with chisels and hammers, just to check, to be slow so that you don't damage the gemstones.
So would you expect to maybe find some right in there when you?
Yes. Wherever there's a swelling like this,
Yeah.
there's a swelling, that is where you get savorite gemstone. So you excavate 1 meter, then call the supervision, do the reef together. Once the reef is flat like this, you look for some height so that you can stand comfortably, and then all that material has to be removed up by the winch. That is a day's work, typically. Yeah, so we'll proceed back to the other side and
1 meter a day.
yeah. We target 1 meter a day, but sometimes machines break down and
Sometimes it's too
No, man, yeah, man.
mind your head, tall people.
Yep. It's the head. See,
Then an eye. Where you get an eye is high potential to get savorite.
So you would take a
Yes.
hand chisel and
And
work in there.
and work on this. So here where you are seeing in the middle, that is where the reef was widest. There was a hole, that is why we have gone.
wow.
Wouldn't you keep hammering until the eye is all gone? Like
Yes,
that
so
eye's
normally
still
when
there.
it is a very productive area,
Uh-huh.
we try and check both sides. We try
Okay.
and check that side and this side because it shows this is a port.
The back, yeah, fun.
Yeah.
You see all here there is reef. And that is the 1 meter we say you leave hanging, then now you chisel it slowly to see if you get production.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you rain recently? Or what do you do water? This is just okay. I get it. It's up to be, yeah.
I gotta put my other glove on.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too. One-handed as I record.
Slowly this hair is a bit stiff.
Okay.
This one is a bit stiff, water.
I built a door into here. Wow.
Yes.
Why? What's the purpose of the door?
Just to control access. And also we are trying to,
Oh,
yeah.
wow! Look at. Hey, you guys found some here. That's amazing. Right out of the wall. Yeah, you can see.
Yeah, you see the reef now. You've started identifying the reef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is typical the reef. So we just go there. Yeah. So this is typical a big reef. You can see behind here. Yeah, and these are the gemstones you get within the reef. All these parts can sometimes be a pocket of savorite.
I don't see any big pieces laying around.
Yeah. Yeah. Where's the golf ball and basketball size pieces of savorite?
If we got that one, we wouldn't be here. We have taken over.
Yeah. So you guys go back up. You just fall. Oh yeah, there's a
Yeah.
reef or an eye.
Yes, a reef and an eye.
Yeah. So when you find them, do they fall out pretty easily, or are they stuck pretty hard in the matrix?
Some of them are very hard, but some just, the bigger pieces particularly, just follow themselves.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Huge reef and then a nodule, an eye. This is
Wow.
where you get the gemstone.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We help people.
Is this an emergency?
And this amazing. I mean, they built doors in the mine.
Yeah, so turn right.
Turn right.
Turn right, yeah.
Okay. A wooden escalator.
Yeah, isn't that nice? Sean, if I ever open a mine, I'm gonna build stairs into it. Watch your head.
So the Classic 1 mine is definitely the exception as far as mine operations go in Kenya. But everyone in the mining community, in the government, and charitable organizations like Gem Legacy, everyone is united and working together to make this the standard for gem mines in East Africa in the future. On our way to the Kenya-Tanzania border, we made a quick stop at another charitable organization which Gem Legacy provides some support to, and that's the Grace Mwatate Children's Home. The Mwatate Children's Home and Rescue Center is a voluntary charitable institution providing a permanent home for vulnerable and orphan children aged 3 up to 18. We passed our remaining candies to the managers of the home to distribute to the children, and normally in the back of the home they plant vegetables, but again, Kenya has had a drought for the past couple of years, so right now they didn't have any plants and aren't growing any vegetables, which is unfortunate.
So, about 4 years ago, we recognized a dilemma in that the kids, they had one room where all the children would come in and just, they'd put their clothes and their shoes in one pile, because these are all typically used from somebody else. So one of the things we wanted to do is actually to build lockers. So we had arranged through the school to actually build lockers here, so every kid had their own space. Except, of course, that was kind of hard to get to. That way they have their own locked area. I think maybe 2 or 3 kids probably share an individual locker. But this way they have, people were taking other people's goods. They can protect themselves.
They were after our last trip.
Yeah.
It was one of the projects they said they needed funding.
One of the gals on a trip a few years ago just donated the money for them to have cable TV for a year. It's like $5 a month or something, because the kids like to watch it and sing and dance.
Oh. Hi. You're welcome. There'll be more.
Amazing. So they're gonna have like rice and beans. But they're probably gonna have like ugali and beans. You know, ugali was those little cakes. So
Yes.
it's probably ugali and beans, and then they'll put a bean sauce on top.
If it ever rains, they're ready.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, Kel said that there's two of these.
Yeah, rainwater collection.
That's awesome.
I think Jim made a new friend at each and every stop that we made on this entire trip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I said, it's complicated.
Yes. There's a giraffe hanging out right there.
giraffes?
One just across the road.
Look at the colour on that one. Really dark.
Two of them.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Quite an animal.
Very cool.
And one right beside me.
More of a baby, I think.
Yeah, one's younger.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Just crossing the road. I mean, we have like signs in mountains and that say, deer crossing, but imagine a sign saying elephant crossing, giraffe crossing.
Out here it can be any animal.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
We weren't allowed to take photos of the process to exit Kenya and enter Tanzania. And that's the case with most government operations in both countries, no photographing allowed. But the highway we traveled, it didn't have much traffic. It's a seldom used route between the two countries. So light traffic, not many people, and the process went fairly quickly. We needed Roger and Sean to both get this extra special documentation, which would allow them to export gem rough out of Tanzania when our group finally departs. Sean needed it because he was going back to the UK, and Roger took care of everything for everybody from the group, everything we'd purchased going back to the US. But Sean had to kind of get a separate documentation, and that took a little bit longer than we had thought. But again, it was a pretty quick one-stop process, and all the people are friendly. Even the border, the customs agents, all friendly, all happy. And rather quickly, we were off to our hotel at the base of Mount Kilimanjaro. This is a good place to end part 2 of our great gem hunting adventure in Africa. And in part 3, we'll carry on and cover the Tanzanian portion of the trip. So for now, happy fasting, everyone.